Hello everybody, this is Lane, and today we are going to be reviewing again the Mario Kart 64 Mario action figure. This figure was released by Toy Biz back in 1999 as part of their video game Superstars line, which also had lines based on other video games like Ocarina of Time and Diddy Kong Racing. But they also made some Mario Kart 64 figures. And this figure was available most likely at Toys R Us for around less than $10. So let's take a look at the accessories. So here is the green shell that Mario comes with. The underside is kind of this minty green color, but you know, this shell was based off of the 3D artwork of the shell, and the shell in that image kind of looked, the underside of the shell looked a little minty greenish in that artwork. Probably from like, the glowing effect in the background or something. So I kind of understand why they would mess up the underside of the shell, but the top one looks cool. The shell's kind of very squishy, or at least this part is really squishy. You can tell that the plastic on the shell is a lot softer. It also comes with a black rod sticking out. And the reason why is because the car that this figure comes with has an item launcher in the front, or at least the car on Mario has the front item launcher. And you can tell that this car actually has a pullback feature. He also has, the car also has like a seatbelt, so, the figure won't fall over. And, the wheels can move, and the pedals can move. You also have to appreciate the details they went when it came into, like, the metal part. It feels nice. Here's the back engine. The Yoshi and Luigi figures, their cars had the item launchers only in the back, while Wario, Donkey Kong, and Bowser had both the item launchers in the front and the back, and the pipes on their engines were a lot bigger. I'm going to put Mario onto the cart. You gotta be careful when putting figures into vehicles, because you don't want them, to break or something. Put the wheels back on. There you go. It looks perfect. No, I'll put the item inside the item launcher, and while this car is moving, during a second, the item will launch. Let's demonstrate like this. Now, I tested the car onto a flat surface before, and that thing is really fast. It's pretty fast. So that is it for the accessories. I really like the car and the feature, like the item you can launch with. And if you have any other Mario Kart figures with different items, like Yoshi and Donkey Kong came with bananas, you could put the other items into that car as well. So now let's take a look at the figure. Getting my trusty Smokey the Bear ruler. This figure is around 3.5 inches tall. That means in centimeters, he is around 9 centimeters. Comparison-wise, here is the fully articulated Mario figure from Wendy's back in 2002. Both are using the same style, like both of these figures are based off of the N64 era Mario artwork. And this World Nintendo Mario figure is based on the current Mario look that has been used since Luigi's Mansion. World Nintendo Mario is 4 inches, and this Wendy's Mario figure is definitely a little bit taller than the Mario Kart Mario, so yeah, that's it for comparison. So let's take a look at the figure itself. Unlike the other Mario Kart figures that Toy Biz released, this figure actually aged well when it came to the sculpt. You know, it actually looks accurate to how Mario looks like in the Nintendo 64 artwork, and I'm kind of surprised at how well they captured Mario. Sure, you know, he does use an outdated look, this look has been used since, like, Super Mario Bros. 3 up until Luigi's Mansion, but come on, this is like my favorite version of Mario, the N64 era Mario, where his face is less chubby. You can definitely tell, compared to the modern Mario, you know, the face on the figure, you know, closely resembles that of the 2D artwork, while this figure, you know, since, you know, 3D artwork was new at the time, his face doesn't look that chubby. Articulation-wise, he has a rotating head joint, universal joints at the shoulders, so they can go up and down and back and forth. The wrists do rotate, both of them do, even though this one is pretty loose. The hips rotate, front and back. He can kick out that much, and he can go back that much. So not only can he sit in his Mario Kart, which is the main intention for this figure, but you can also do some jumping poses, or any posing options for that matter. So even though this figure is pretty limited, he's still pretty posable. Overall, this is actually a pretty good figure, especially for the first canon Mario action figure. I know the Super Mario Bros. Movie figures came out before this figure, but when it comes to, like, the real Mario, like the Mario from the games, this is definitely the first Mario action figure. He comes with probably one of the best accessories any Mario figure has. I especially appreciate the car. And if you don't have the Mario Kart, any of, like, the Mario Kart figures, you can always use this car on the SH Figure Arts Mario and the any other action figure you own in your collection. So yeah, this is a pretty great set, you know, for what it's worth. You know, the figure, you know, doesn't have as much articulation, but it doesn't really matter, because this figure, you can still get some posing options for it. And the sculpt, even though his look is outdated, you know, by today's standards, it has really aged well compared to the other Mario figures. So I give this figure an A, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.